And they're on.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to New Comic Book Day Book Club. I'm not sure if you heard it, but that was Alec telling us that when the lights go on, I couldn't hear the rest. When the mics go on, something.
Was I talking before?
Very rarely. I think I got the camera on at Caleb. Sorry about that. Welcome to New Comic Book Day Book Club. This is my channel, John's Comics with Kids, and with me always is my partner in crime, and this show is definitely a crime. I got Alec at White Whale Comics.
Thank you. I think nice to see all of you. I think I'm gonna lean into my character.
You have a character?
The natural.
Yeah, the grumbler.
The grumbler.
You're like acting like you're a grouchy grandpa or something.
Yeah, that's my character.
Do you have a secret word bubble variant some days?
That's a grumble joke.
Yeah, you got it.
And of course, our guest this week is the person who Alec and I both were convinced had actually been on this show, but apparently we just imagined that we'd spent time with him. This is the original Comic Smurph, Caleb the Comic Smurph. How you
What's
doing,
happening, everybody? Kicking it like a fat rat in a cheese factory, bro. You know. About to talk about some zombies, dude. You know your boy over here is holding out for the zombie apocalypse still one day.
I pimped your line on the Comic Core Unlimited earlier, but I love hearing you say it, man. You do it better than anybody.
Hey, you guys are so beautiful, though. I'm kind of hanging out like a hemorrhoid instead.
Oh, damn. Does that make me the asshole?
I was gonna say that makes our show the asshole.
That sounds more like it.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah, we are here to talk about the new DC event comic, issue number 1 of DCeased, and we are going to get all up in that zombie booty. But first, I want to shout out some folks in the chat who have been here right off the bat. And of course, TJ, Slab Dragon Watson, numero uno in hearts and minds, but also in the chat.
Excuse me.
We got Wingnut in here. We got Retro Savage. Old Wolf is in here. Caleb, of course, in here. No one is in here. And I have a feeling Alec is in there, but he's probably just snoozing and watching from afar.
I came in 45 minutes early to make sure I was first in the chat.
I don't see your comment.
No, if you do it before like 30-something minutes, it'll delete your freaking comment because I try to snipe people all the time.
It shows it on mine. It says first with this emoji.
John deleted it.
I probably did. But he's a wrench. I can't delete anything he says in this chat. Sammy Strikes Back is in here as well. Thank you for coming in. So I will say, right off the bat, this is the best. I knew going in probably that this would be the best part of this comic, but the sort of horror homage covers for this series, this one, and then into Nightmare on Elm Street is incredible. Anybody have a comment about that cover?
Dude, Joker's face in the balloon, man. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but if you get this in person, check it out. Like, Joker's face in the balloon is so epic. And this, when I was a kid, dude, this was that horror movie, man.
And all of the copies at my shop were just not in great shape, so this might be a hard one to get in a 9.8.
Mine is perfect. It doesn't even have anything on the corners, dude.
Mine's all wavy. It's got like finger divots and see, like you can see.
Oh well, yeah, they're gonna be. These black covers are gonna be wavy. They're definitely gonna have to be pressed for sure. But
yeah, I think mine's in nice shape too. But I have heard a lot of people talking about damaged issues and scuffing, and all that black cover really takes a beating sometimes. But yeah, I think it's just gorgeous. And I'm a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I mentioned on the Comic Core Unlimited that I grew up very near to Robert Englund's house, the actor who plays Freddy Krueger, and that I would see him at the beach, and he'd be, hanging out and just chilling and like a villain. And
I wouldn't be able to sleep at night.
Super nice guy, super friendly, would talk to anybody, fan or not, just super chill. And yeah, he's still in town. I see him all the time. So he's just really, really nice, friendly, not living behind some giant gate or anything like that, just being a badass guy. So I'm excited for that cover as well. I want to see that one.
May I ask about the covers? So I know it is a newer movie, but an older property.
It's an older movie.
Well, originally, the TV miniseries thing, and Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously an older movie. Issue 3, and I understand maybe you want to not concentrate all on older stuff. But issue 3's homage is The Nun. Really? Like,
I don't even think I've ever seen it, man. Honest to be
no one
honest.
has seen it. And it's not even like an iconic poster that, jumped out at me. I don't know. Very disappointed in DC in that one. Poor
I mean,
choice.
there's clearly a lot of options. I don't know. Does anyone know how many issues this is going to run? How many they needed to have? Is this like they have 24 issues and they're running?
Well,
they're
I think
already
they probably needed to have none.
How many?
So they probably needed to have none.
Salty already.
Sorry.
He's salty always, but that's why we have him.
Yeah. Remember, I'm the grumpy grandfather. My character.
Your persona.
Yeah,
no,
so
I enjoyed it, man.
yeah, I will say right off the bat, I was probably predisposed. I was joking with Alec that I'm probably predisposed to not enjoy it. I struggle with event stories and event comics in general. I very rarely find one that I'm passionate about. Like the original Secret Wars is one that I'm really passionate about. The original Civil War is one that I really love. But a lot of times I read one and I don't particularly care for it, especially when they're of the. My low bar is usually like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. It's kind of like my low bar. I don't like a comic where it's just like it's basically like an extended What If episode or issue. I enjoy What If on a lark. I enjoy What If, but I just feel like when it's like I got to buy 7 issues of a What If storyline, I kind of get a little over it.
Well, it's also called Elseworlds.
Which again is like, hit or miss, right?
Sure.
You enjoy the world like Red Sun.
Yeah, if it's really well told, it's great. You got my money every time.
And I'm also the same guy who's like, I'm Old Man Quill, Old Man Hawkeye. I'm powering that stuff down.
Yeah, those are totally what if stories.
Well, yeah, tangential future universes, but then they cross over at least to the main story. Whereas, like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe is like, what's the point, right?
Yeah.
TJ says if you haven't seen The Nun, it's a great and future classic.
Ah.
Is TJ really recommending a hardcore horror film? That's pretty badass.
I would. Now, I clearly have not seen it, and TJ has, but I would not. From the previews, it did not seem like a hardcore classic.
Is it possible he's saying that with sarcasm?
I don't see any smiley faces afterwards.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
or laughy faces.
I honestly don't know anything about it. I just know that it's like a newer movie that is just seemed like another one of those Conjuring type universe movies that they don't do anything for me personally. And
I'm biased when it comes to horror flicks. It has to be old. It definitely has to be old for me to enjoy it. Because I remember
dead serious.
I remember during the summer when we were out of school, me and my buddies would go to the VHS store. Like we had a movie gallery, and we would rent like all the horror movies in a row. We'd get all the Friday the 13th one weekend, and we'd sit at one of each other's houses and watch them. Or we'd get all the Jason or Freddy Krueger movies, sit and watch them. So I like old horror movies. New ones, man, they just go way too far. I'm sorry, they just go way too freaking far.
Well, I think that when they went past like just a really fun idea into what they call like torture porn and some of that kind of stuff,
that's really what it is.
It's intense, and I it's funny, Caleb, you mentioned that because I had a very similar upbringing. When I got into my like preteen, teenage years, one of the big things that me and my friends would do is rent those movies. Faces of Death. I saw
that was savagery, bro.
Dude, that was the high water or low water mark, depending on how you felt about it. When I was a kid, if somebody decided to rent that, everybody'd be like, "Oh, damn, I don't know if I'm up for that tonight." That's the one. But yeah, all the Freddy movies, all the Jason movies, all the Mike Myers movies, all those. Yeah, I say Mike because I know him well.
Can I point out my grand and vast observational abilities? TJ did confirm it is part of the Conjuring universe.
Oh, you did notice that before you even watched it. Wow. Go figure. Alec has some good knowledge.
Yeah.
And scene.
Yeah, I think that. Thanks for joining us. I'm gonna leave on a high note on that one.
Nailed it.
So the reason I brought up my feelings about event comics is I think in a big way your feeling about event comics, and specifically these kind of sort of horror event comics, is going to probably affect the enjoyment you're going to get out of this one. So I've read Marvel Zombies 1. I think I've read part of the saga Marvel Zombies 2. I don't know that I ever finished that one. I read there was a great What If that I remember that reminds me of some of these. It was what if Wolverine had become a vampire? Had to do with like when the X-Men were battling the Dracula or something like that, and Wolverine, if Wolverine had been bitten, he would become like king of the vampires. Vampirism would sort of spread through the Marvel universe. Punisher would become like, Van Helsing, basically a vampire hunter.
You know who is a vampire?
Who?
You?
Am I gonna have to say it? I don't want the chat to get drunk.
Dracula.
Talking about
Jubilee.
Oh yeah. That girl. Yeah. In that story, I remember. So and I enjoyed that as a little simple what if, like what would happen kind of thing, knowing that it was just schlock and over and done with. But watching the Punisher be Blade, even though Marvel Universe already has Blade, I don't know why they needed Punisher to be Blade, but whatever. This feels a little bit like that, but on a sort of longer multi-episode issue kind of a thing.
Probably for the same reason they needed Thanos to be Punisher in Cosmic Ghost Rider, another event, sell more books, another first appearance that's never going to make the screen or never going to amount to anything.
So some people in the chat are saying they're not into horror films. They don't really watch them anymore. JP Budget Collecting says he loves the Spriter, Tom Taylor, and that's the main reason why he picked it up. That's what he was really looking for. I will say I was in this. I was concerned when I opened the second page and it lists the artist and everything, and it says that certain pages are done by one artist and other pages are done by another, and that's usually not a good sign.
Yeah, especially so I have mixed feelings about when that happens, because if there's a purpose to it, if there's a flashback or some sort of differentiating thing where you need to show it with art to help tell the story, I'm fine with it. If it is because an artist could not finish a book in time, which is what this felt like, which is absurd because this is an issue 1. Like this usually would happen in an issue 3, 4, 5, where like an artist gets behind and they have to throw some pencil jockey in to fill in the gaps.
Pencil jockey just made me giggle. I don't know.
Does anybody else?
I pictured a guy riding a pencil. I don't know.
Does anybody else feel like Superman looks like a homeless meth head in this picture?
Holy crap! Yeah.
His cheeks are all sunk in. His clothes are all ripped up.
Doesn't look great.
Yeah, he doesn't look healthy, and the virus ain't even hit yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Green Arrow has a couple good lines in here, though.
There were some good lines in that sequence. So it starts off with Darkseid apparently being captured, but then very easily escaping. Apparently, he's working on this anti-life equation. I don't know if everybody's ever heard of him looking for this, because he seems to be looking for it a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of his thing.
Still looking for it. He gets caught by the Justice League and says in his typical way, like, don't worry, I already got what I need. I'm out of here. And then escapes the lasso of truth somehow, and poof, he's gone.
Because he was playing them the whole time,
I guess.
Yeah.
And then our heroes have a little back and forth banter, because apparently the first thing that pops into Batman's head is that, hey, Cyborg is gone. And he's supposed to be doing stuff on Earth, but I have a tracking device, and he's clearly outside of our solar system now. And then everybody gets on his case because apparently he's tracking them all.
Why does that surprise them?
Huh?
Was Alec raising his hand?
Yes, because you're the teacher.
Okay. Alec.
Yeah. To Caleb's point, like, how many times have we seen this exact scene and seen everyone totally shocked at the fact that Batman is doing something outside of the scope of what they think is okay to do for keeping a check on each other? And like we've seen the scene a million times. Like, Blah.
It's true. Just like he keeps his little secret stash of kryptonite for Superman and all that. Dude, he is a paranoid detective, dude. You know, he tracks you. That's what he
They should just be
does.
like, oh, Cyborg is gone. They should have said, oh, why? Did you have some sort of tracking system on him?
Yeah.
Like, they should have known already that is Batman's thing.
Yeah, it would have been funnier if somebody just said, Batman, where's Cyborg? And he's like, how should I know? And they're like, well, because you probably track him. You probably have something on him, right? Just assuming you're tracking all of us.
Yeah. Nobody knows says the writers never read a Batman story. Like, he's like, oh, this is going to be a good one. Not my biggest problem with the book, though. Keep going.
Well, I know you're going to get to the exposition paragraph pages. I think it's actually 3 pages of exposition at one point that really bugged me. But so then, Cyborg has gone missing. You know, there's a little back and forth between the JLA, kind of bickering at one another about Batman's secrets, and then Batman apparently is unable to lie about the devious things that he's doing. So they ask him, and he's like, no. And then Green Arrow has the funny line about, does anyone else uncomfortable about the way he paused before he said no? Which I thought was a pretty decent line.
Yeah, it was a pretty decent line, but also strange tone for the moment. Like, I know it's Green Arrow, and I know he's like a snarky character, but I felt like I didn't understand if this book was supposed to be.
Do you think it's foreshadowing anything? Maybe.
I just the tone was all wrong.
I agree. I think they were stuck somewhere between, is this a complete horror comic or is this a what if lark? And so the tone bounces back and forth between sort of silliness and graphic, horror. Which I don't know that it balances all that well.
As weird as Superman looks on the
Caleb, are you trying to show something there?
Well, you were saying the horror, if they were going for straight horror, the next page, right after that little conversation, you've got Cyborg all tied down and stuff. I was going to wait till you started talking about it, though.
So what do you got there, Alec?
This page makes it look very serious. This looks like the beginning of an event book, right?
And I will say I like the way that page is framed and laid out. I don't necessarily like the way the characters look, but I do like the stretch.
Yeah, it was laid out
style of it.
And then, all of their banter is weird. And then, while I very much actually like this art style, does not fit the tone.
Yeah, and this is where the next artist takes over, right? So you got one artist for that first beginning bit, and now we jump to the other artist, and it's jarring. The style does not meld.
No, not at all.
So now we're on Apocalypse. It's funny that the heroes were sitting around bickering about where he is when it's like, he's gone missing and Darkseid vanished and he said he has a master plan. Let's just assume Apocalypse. I think we could all just kind of assume. Time to get a boom tube out and just rock this. Apocalypse, apparently part of the anti-life equation is somehow inside of Cyborg. And they want to connect these two pieces. This is the bit that drove me crazy. The next 3 pages of discussion between Darkseid, Cyborg, and then the weird doctor guy, which I don't know who that torture device guy is. Anybody know him?
They also
I've never seen him.
They also have the line, Cyborg says, while about to be tortured, I try not to kink shame anyone. Again,
his name's DCeased. That's his name.
Very, very strange tonal decision.
Yeah, that whole sequence is frustrating because it's basically our classic exposition drop sequence where they're explaining what Darkseid's doing, what Darkseid's doing, why he's doing it, how this is going to work. And yet at the same time, as much as it's an exposition drop, I was still totally confused about the entire thing.
So I'll take it one step further and talk about why I dislike this book so much. Not only was it exposition, let me back up.
I've locked the camera on you, brother. You just
Oh, have
go.
you? Oh, dude, my show now.
It's all you, brother. I just
Oh,
this
boy.
is part of. I want popcorn, right?
This
I want
better
my
be good.
popcorn.
I very much enjoy narration in comics, like Criminal, for example, where you have a character's internal monologue driving the story. It is, I think, when used well, an excellent way to tell a story. Here's the problem. Comic books is a visual medium.
Really? Tell me
Yes.
more.
Oh,
No
so what you can do in a comic book is take words and pictures and make them go together. Or you can take words and pictures and make them say different things. Now, if you have a character speaking and you see what is happening, that makes sense. But
No
if you have
incongruity,
if you have a scene and a narration telling you what you are seeing, that is pointless. That is a waste of my time and a waste of the medium. There is no reason for this narration. It is telling you exactly what is happening. It's like, he ripped out his tongue. Here's a scene of him ripping out his tongue. He used this cube to do this thing. It's like, here's him pushing the button. I felt insulted as a reader.
Oh man, I freaking love this show. And
So,
I'm on this show.
He's not wrong. I didn't notice it till he said it.
It is the worst part of the issue for me is this few seconds, and the bigger issue for me is all of that is true. I still don't understand the situation. I still don't understand how half the anti-life equation has apparently always been in Cyborg, and nobody freaking knew it until now. I was like, what? Huh? What?
Greenheart?
I just that confuses the heck out of me. I don't understand how shoving this cube inside of him gets it out. I don't understand why they need to call this Death guy and why they need to include this guy in the whole process. What is he adding to the situation except obviously
He's a
death?
minion. He's a minion.
Like, what is the function of that guy? They're just bringing him in like, hey, let's put a little of this spice in the pasta sauce and see what we get.
Now, has he been?
It's still locked on Alec. Just let it happen.
Now, has he been in the DC universe before, this Death dude?
No idea. No clue.
Because that might be another one of those stupid little first appearance characters that nobody really gives a crap about.
Cash in right now.
But
yeah,
about the anti-life equation being in Cyborg, does the anti-life equation come? I don't know DC. So does it come from the mother box? Because that's where that's how he was created, Cyborg, right? Was by the dark energy from.
I know that they used some kind of energy source for creating him. I don't know the specifics beyond that. Sorry.
I think Ultron made him, right?
Hank Pym is blamed. We blame Hank Pym for everything.
There was an opportunity here to tell a story. I think that there is a story here somewhere, but the other thing is the whole thing felt like a recap because of this narration. Even after this scene, when Cyborg comes back, it was like, jumping ahead a little bit, but it's like Cyborg landed and all of a sudden people around him were infected and they were tweeting this and they were doing this, and like there was no drama or suspense. You didn't feel this like moment of panic of this disease spreading because you were just told that it was happening.
Yeah, I think the only impending doom you feel is that zombies are coming, not that there's actually like an impending doom. It's, I compare it to a great battle sequence like the last Game of Thrones where you have this sense of fear because you can't see what's coming, but you know that it's coming. This, on the other hand, is very much like they're just throwing stuff at you.
Episode. Dude, I was so pissed about Game of Thrones.
You and Fire Guy Ryan apparently hated it. I'm going to be talking about
it was
tomorrow night.
Garbage, dude. It was freaking garbage. You couldn't see crap. And the only saving grace of the movie or show was that they let Aya.
Don't spoil now. I don't know how many people have watched it yet. We're not going to spoil.
So
I love Kachung in the chat. Kachung says they use the Tesseract.
They really do. It looks just like it almost.
Dave with the win there. Absolutely. And hello to 90 Miles from Comics, Comics Misexplained, Cargo T80, Cargo, sorry. Good to see you guys all in here.
TJ, the green heart is something that Sam's Tangled Web uses.
So, it's actually me. I legit started this.
What?
So Sam's Tangled Web was doing a live stream, and the whole night he was at Bueller's house sitting, and Bueller had hidden things all around his house for Sam to go and find. Bueller boxes that he had made specifically for Sam. And he kept and so Bueller jumps in the chat and tells him where to look for them. And all night, the half of the video is just Sam looking in the chat going, what? And I was dying of laughter the whole time because I'm texting Bueller on the side.
Why do you love this?
I started sending a green heart every time he said what. And then everybody else in the chat started doing it too. And then his chat starts filling with green hearts. I was just dying. And now every time I am in one of his chats and he says what, I just send a green heart up.
It really was a very entertaining evening. I'm telling you. He's like,
it's one of the funniest live streams I've ever seen.
He's like, Bueller, what the crap is this? He's
like,
I can't open this. I'm a Marvel guy.
It was like all DC books, and poor Sam is like, I hate DC. I read Marvel, man.
What is this?
And then he can't find the box.
This.
The whole time he's like, is there a box? Wait, what? Over there? Wait, where? What? And he's looking over here and he can't find anything in the whole place. And Bueller's like, it's literally next to you. It's right
the whole time the cat's over there like, meow.
Oh, I was dying.
So back to the book.
Sorry, it's better than the book. Is Sam's Tangled Web live streams? I'm just telling you.
Let's do a reaction video to the Sam's Tangled Web video.
So they cut out Cyborg's tongue, and apparently it's so important to do that because a page later it's already grown back, which whatever, just because they clearly needed him to talk again. Apparently mixing the anti-life equation half in the Tesseract and the anti-equation half that's inside of Cyborg mixed together with death. Shocker, bad decision. The whole thing kind of erupts into a giant shitstorm with Darkseid turning into a zombie and starting to destroy Apocalypse, and Cyborg somehow escaping back to Earth for the sole purpose of spreading the virus through the internet.
I was a little disturbed about how they introduced the other part of the virus into the Black Racer. It's basically like he's giving him a huge freaking shot, and I just thought it was weird.
Just yes, weird. Yeah. It's something of a ripoff of Marvel Zombies.
It's Apocalypse. They do weird stuff. And then they have the incredibly clever line of Darkseid is, Darkseid was.
So does that mean he's dead, right?
Well, who the hell knows?
The planet's gone, though.
Seemingly. But I don't even know if this is in continuity.
I guarantee you it's not.
Definitely not. I think you could read the last few pages and know that it's not.
Well,
it's from an alternate universe where Superman's a tweaker.
So
skinny meth head Superman.
He is, dude.
So this book basically had like all of my general common complaints. It had the exposition, which is like next level exposition.
Yeah, and it happens several times.
It had the issue with pacing, where this could have been a story that was built up, right? Like I just feel like they threw, to your point, like you didn't really know what was going on because they just threw so much because they wanted to get to the part with the zombies at the end of the first issue.
I think they're trying to make up for all that crap with the Batman run.
Like if this could have been, sometimes the most interesting thing about something like a zombie movie is the suspense and the reveal of
the outbreak.
And we didn't get that here at all.
No.
The panic in the streets, the looting. It's like everybody carries their phone, so everybody's going to get infected. Boom, instantly. Bam. It's kind of how it went for me. I still enjoyed reading it. Don't get me wrong, though.
So we get he gets back to Earth. The virus starts spreading instantly through the wireless everywhere around the world because apparently Cyborg is always connected. And the heroes are starting to deal with it. Superman finds out and has to fly to all his loved ones and destroy all their electronic devices. And he's worried about Batman because, Batman spends all his time staring at screens down in the Batcave there.
Yeah.
So apparently Batman can just shut all that crap down and be perfectly safe.
Have an electromagnetic pulse.
My next biggest character complaint of this issue is Batman forgetting to EMP his own house. He's like, oh, wait, what?
I just did the Batcave. Isn't that enough? Yeah. Master tactician fail.
Yeah, super fail.
Well, wait, wasn't it Thanatos who said the real master tactician is Hawkman?
No, actually, it's Rocket Raccoon, just so you know.
In the DC universe.
Yeah, it's Rocket Raccoon still.
So Batman does his screw up affects their household in the way that you would imagine, which is that all those young boys that he keeps in his house are, of course, on their phones.
Well, the youngest of the boys is not even there.
It's Damian, man, my buddy.
He's too busy thinking about Catwoman, Jack Yo says.
Aren't we all?
I usually am. But, I'm
going to put the camera back on Alec again.
No, I got nothing left to say about it. It's
I freaking love this, man.
Okay, so Superman makes
how much was this book?
$3.99. It was not a $4.99.
Well, thank goodness for that. Small favors, DC. You really screwed me this week.
Remove $1 worth of your grief right now.
Yeah.
Caleb, I just dropped it on you, man. It's on you now. You're just watching.
All right. I'm good with that. All right. So right here, Superman shows up and stops the technology from hurting him. And then you see that Damian's worried about Batman, right? And he's checking his little bat radio or whatever. But it would be like V8 or
UHF or whatever.
That stuff. Yep. That radio signal. But that's what that would be. So he doesn't get infected. But you jump to the next page, you get a clip of Batman, a clip of Nightwing all zombied out, and then all of a sudden, Robin's already here, dressed up, and a zombie, biting Bruce.
That's what I was just going to ask about. Because
how the freak does that happen?
I don't know.
Damian was safe, man. Is Jason Todd back to life? Is like, I'm saying,
that's what I was just going to ask, but then I was like, am I going to sound like an idiot because I don't understand something here?
Well, I am an idiot, so I'll ask it.
There's so many freaking Robins these days.
For real. There's only one Robin, and that's Damian, so kill everybody else.
I assumed that it was one of the other Robins. I can't even remember their own other names.
That's Damian's mask. That's his suit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know, man.
I don't see the hood, but still.
Book didn't make a lick of sense. This book didn't make a bite of sense.
I actually enjoyed it reading it the first time through, but now that y'all pointed stuff out, I'm starting to get a little disappointed.
Sorry, I'm ruining. That's what I do. I ruin things for people.
You suck the joy out of comic book collecting.
Suck the joy out of everything.
It's
Nobody's blowing up moons.
I would say I even joked with Alec before we went live that the point is that it's not true because almost every book I collected this week is in some way connected to this book club. So clearly my pull list is represented by the joy I found in this book club. So you can't take all the negative credit without taking some of the positives.
And, I'm not a total curmudgeon. I enjoy...
You're 3/4 of a curmudgeon.
You enjoy Terry Moore and Rye and Valiant.
I liked Meet the Skrulls. I like Die.
Hey, that's a good one.
I don't know if you've heard that I like a book called Little Bird.
Little Bird.
You haven't mentioned that one.
No.
Tell me more.
So it's from Image Comics. No, I'm not going to get it.
You got to have one right next to you, right?
Yeah, totally.
Camera back on Alec.
Oh, where'd mine go?
I have, at the very least, yep. Here's an issue 2. I got a second print somewhere around here, and I don't know.
Yes, TJ, this is definitely an Elseworlds story.
I mean, it's not under the Elseworlds banner.
They're just gonna kill everybody, and it's gonna end with, I don't know, Superman having to save the day or become a zombie, probably.
Who can bite Superman?
Probably.
If Batman puts kryptonite teeth in his face to bite Superman, I am going to stop reading comic books.
Can I pitch you on what I would have done, Alec? Since we clearly dislike the function and format that what they did, can I pitch you on what I thought this comic would be and how I would have done it?
I love this game. Let's play this game.
Here's what I would have done. If it was like, let's imagine it as like 5 issues. I would have spent an issue on each sort of region of DC Universe being affected by this, not knowing why it's happening, not knowing how it's happening, just being affected. So like imagine Themyscira being invaded by zombies coming out of the ocean, right? Imagine Gotham all of a sudden being swarmed with zombies and just Batman having to deal with this crap. And then you get Metropolis in issue, you get Coast City in issue, right? Then you finish it with the finale that explains why. And the last 3 heroes hoping to try to stop it.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Let's collaborate on this.
Do it.
So I love this idea of like this scene of Arkham. And all of the Batman rogues are suddenly, like, the guard walks by and he sees Joker in his cell and he turns around and he's like
even more crazed.
Right. He's blood from his mouth, whatever. And this starts escalating. And it starts spreading. And the heroes have to fight this zombie breakout. And maybe a few of them become zombies themselves, whatever the case may be. We get to the end, and we don't explain it.
Well, obviously,
it doesn't matter anyways.
Because you could end it with, the reality of an Elseworld. Just everybody dies.
Yeah, because end it with Superman blowing up the world, because that's the only way to stop the zombie breakout from reaching the rest of the universe. Because
pushing Earth into the sun.
Because the
zombie. I don't like that, dude. I don't like that because then I would die. I'm posted up in that zombie apocalypse somewhere, surviving like a mamma jamma, dude, kicking it like a fat rat in a cheese factory. Got my machetes, got my AR, dude, set.
Little Bird was okay. Nobody, no one. No, it's the book of the year.
Yeah, you can skip that. Nobody. Yeah, you don't. No. That's yeah. If they have an extra copy on Free Comic Book Day and they're selling it for $1, ask if they'll cut the price.
Sometimes, John, I really don't know what to do with you. No, but think. I think that
for me, what we're talking about is the possibilities were so great.
They didn't need a whole issue to tell you what is happening, because that is not the interesting part of a zombie apocalypse.
No, it's definitely not. It's the journey, it's the road, it's the panic, it's the definitely. Do you like slow zombies or fast zombies?
Slow zombies.
Me too.
Do you think that when they were pitching the idea for DCeased, that the second title that they had to pick from was Zombie Apocalypse spelled like the planet?
Do you think that someone realized that they could write a comic called DCeased and just pitched that, and they were like, yeah, we'll go with it?
You want to know my theory on it? Since pretty much all DC books are not my favorite, is what I'll just put it nicely. I think it's another ploy for them to sell covers, dude. They're using old horror. Fact. It's the B cover. This is the B cover. They are known for their B covers. They're putting nice covers on crap work. Boom. DC motto.
Yeah, nobody says, why did Batman get chomped right away? I would argue we don't know for sure that that's even how the virus spreads. We do know that it's only really spread so far through technology.
Well, but we do know from teaser images that Batman is a zombie.
Yeah. That's true. But he's on the cover of this issue, and he wasn't a zombie in this issue, but who knows?
I don't know, man. Hey, are you going to pick up the next issue?
No. I might just want that Freddy Krueger cover, though.
See, that's what they're doing. See, they're using your iconic movie covers. And
I could literally walk up on the beach to England and get him to sign it. That would be freaking badass.
I'm telling you, the editor or whoever went over this thing, he's like, all right, I'm going to be honest with you, Mr. Taylor. The book's not that good, but we're going to get the most epic horror movies that everybody loves, and we're going to make B covers with them. Boom, done. Sold. Thousands of copies sold.
True.
They do have the best covers, JB, and everybody else that said that. I'm not going to knock that. DC has some amazing B covers. It is insane. But that doesn't give them the right to sell crappy work.
Yes, Gray Matter Hulk, there's definitely a dumpster fire that you're smelling. And I, other than me, who's thinking about maybe that cover B for the next issue, Alec is definitely buying the next one. What about you, Caleb?
I don't know. I might.
He just sucked.
If y'all continue,
you speak for you, brother.
I enjoyed it the first go through, but now that we've broken it down, which is another thing about comics, some comics you break down and you love more. Some comics you break down and you ruin it for yourself.
Yeah, I ruin it for other people.
Yeah, but you make a lot of other things good, like Descender, Wicked and Divine, Paper Girls, all kinds of good referrals. So you're still ahead in my book.
All right, I'll count it. So I don't know if this is fair to say, but I'm going to say it anyway because I've already said it to John before we started.
Put the camera right on you.
Okay. I'm going to get real up in the mic for this one. This is my new least favorite book we've done on this show.
Now, I joke with Alec that I don't think that's fair.
Because
Captain Marvel, I'm sorry.
I remember that episode.
Yes, I referred to Captain Marvel as a dumpster fire. This is double dumpster fire.
Double dumpster fire. This is one of them big roll-off dumpster fires. Not the little dumpsters behind the restaurant. This is one of them big construction dumpsters full of crap.
No one says it's the worst one that I've seen.
Who?
Yeah, Captain Marvel was bad. But
he's talking about the book, not the movie, Bake.
He's talking about the book, definitely.
Yeah, the book that we reviewed. It was bad, but like I feel like it was I don't know.
You could tell that in that case, at least, it's harder to tell here, but you could tell that there were people trying to do something.
I'm sure people were trying to do something here. They just I don't know. It really just really rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh man. So yeah, you can skip it. But if you're also looking to spend $20 on this cover, I think you probably have three guys here might be willing to sell you some.
I don't know what it's going for.
No, on 3 of them.
Spec Susan.
No, this don't qualify for Susan spec. Heck no.
Yeah, I was actually
like losing spec.
Before this series came out, I was super excited for that Nightmare on Elm Street cover. I was gonna totally buy one. I dislike this book enough that I'm gonna not buy this because of that.
I will definitely think long and hard. Thankfully, my LCS is cool if you kind of like flip through the book a little before you buy it.
There's
just to see what's going on.
Nothing that they can do to recover.
Oh my god!
You wait. The next issue is gonna have a first appearance.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm not specking. It can be worth $100. You guys can have it.
They're gonna admit that this is a new Robin, and you just didn't know it.
Dude, they better not. Dude, I will lose my crap, bro.
Damian Wayne has a twin.
Damian Wayne has to be immortal. They got to make him immortal somehow. Not undead, immortal.
I'm bringing everyone down. Comic Smurph Explained says you give it a 6.5 out of 10. He was saying that he loved it earlier. I'm ruining it for everyone. I'm sorry, guys.
The anti-joy of comics.
I am the anti-joy equation.
The anti-joy equation.
Well, we want to jump into at least a discussion that we would think will be a real kick in the pants. And it was Caleb's idea right before we went on was What weapon? I think you even described it as like what everyday item.
No, just what zombie weapon? What's the best zombie weapon? But
So
see,
you're facing down a zombie horde, zombie apocalypse. What is your go-to weapon of choice? And Caleb kind of shouted his out earlier. You want to throw it again, brother?
all right, and I'll show you. This is my plan. My weapon that I already have will be dueling machetes, razor sharp. All right, and I'll have a gun, of course. But the solid go-to is the machetes because they don't run out of ammo, right? And we want slow zombies. We already discussed this. Well, I'm going to take my machetes and I'm going to go around town killing zombies till I find a samurai sword. And I'm going to turn into Michonne. And I'm going to cut zombies' arms and mouths off. And I'm going to use them as pack mules. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to skip around listening to Led Zeppelin. And it's just going to be great.
How do you beat that answer?
I've thought about it, y'all. I'm telling you.
So good.
My neighbors are actually preppers, dude. And if they're not tough, their shit's getting tough.
Gray Matter Hulk says a screwdriver on a stick.
It would work. I'm saying worst comes to worst, you can use it. You could kill a zombie with an icicle if you had to.
Well, Bake the Snake makes a great point, which is the classic example, which is just a bayonet. You got the gun and the spear all in one.
Boom. Yeah, bayonets aren't that sharp though. You'd have to spend some time sharpening them, man.
I'm a big fan of Shaun of the Dead, so I'll go with cricket bat, even though samurai swords.
Yes, the cricket mallet. That is a good movie. I forgot about that one.
Oh man, what a classic!
But I do not have the survival instinct or the bravery to survive a zombie apocalypse. I would be doomed.
Any of y'all out there that cannot survive, just hit me up. You can pay me with slab comics, and I will come protect you. And I'll steal the preppers' rations from next door and feed you too.
It's not going to be buttons and bottle caps in the future. It's going to be slabbed comics. It's going to be.
I don't know how I'm going to get from California to Florida in the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
No, I'll come to you, pick you up, and bring you to the next place.
Sounds like a great movie, though.
Zombie apocalypse road movie.
Trying to get there to trade slabbed comics for protection.
There you go. And they're like swimwear, son.
Yeah, D-Runk, baseball bat is what I thought of. And obviously you've got, I don't even remember the name he calls his bat in Walking Dead.
Lucille,
there you go.
Same
is
name
a classic weapon.
Guitar.
That's true. A guitar would get heavy to swing. That's why I like machete. A bat would make you tired too. Think about trying to take down freaking 25 to 30 zombies with a wooden baseball bat. So if you went with a bat, you'd have to go with aluminum because you cannot swing one of them heavy wooden ones.
Well, you don't want it to. The aluminum's going to last longer.
And you want that
very true. Yes, sir.
I don't want any kind of item with ammunition. So nail gun. You know, you're gonna run out of pressure cartridges or nails or something.
Yeah, you need something swingable.
Yep. And then a puncture weapon. You're definitely going to need a puncture weapon. Just in case your machete gets stuck in one, you can whip it out the belt, stab the next one, put your foot on the first one, pull it out, hit the next one. Dude.
Alex Explained says, just throw PGX slabs at the zombies.
Those PGX 9.7s.
Right.
Damn,
oh my God.
PGX.
I don't know what Gray Matter Hulk is saying, but he says it's called Coyote Ugly. I don't know what he's talking about.
Hey, that's a good movie.
Says a 2x4 hacksaw, Jim Duggan style. Oh.
I see. What was it?
Yeah, basically, any of the Ninja Turtles weapons would be good.
Yeah.
Right. Well, nunchucks. Sure. I'm not a big nunchucks guy. I don't know.
Donnie was always my Ninja Turtle, dude. Donatello. You got to have the one with the brains. And then Michelangelo came in close second. Real close second.
Give me the katanas. I'll take the Leonardo and the katanas anytime.
Yeah, but see, with the katanas, man, your hands get too close to their mouth, dude, because that thing's so small and narrow, it'll go.
Yeah, you got to have some kind of glove, right?
Oh, never mind. Leonardo, katana, that's a sword. Never mind. You're good. I thought you were talking about those little.
Size? That's Raphael, the size.
Yeah, not those. Those are too close for comfort.
Pass.
You know, they're actually pronounced nunchaku.
Nunchaku.
And it's actually pronounced. Yeah, I'm pretty nunchaku. And it's also pronounced ukulele.
Ukulele. Learn something new every day. I've called it a ukulele for the longest time.
And I am called pretentious.
No, the natural joy sucker.
Joints.
The
The
natural
anti-joy equation.
A natural joy sucker.
The anti-joy equation. Oh man, Alec, I don't know how you became the butt of this evening.
I'm the butt of every evening.
That is so not true. Oh man,
I just
It's so funny.
gotta.
Okay, so I want to let people in on behind the scenes here. This is the first time in I don't know how many freaking weeks when Alec actually asked me my opinion of the book before we got on air live. Dude sent me a message. He's like, "So have you watched it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I read it, yeah." And then I wait, and then it's like, "I know we don't usually talk, but I just want to know what you thought." Because he was so worried that he was going to be the lone contrarian on this thing. But I definitely let him know.
Like, I don't mind being the lone contrarian. I didn't want to be like, if
Sucking
both of you
the
guys,
joy.
if both of you guys were like, "Oh, this was so much fun," and I was just like, "No, it wasn't."
You look like Gargamel when you do that.
Dude.
Gargamel and the
That's my
Comic
arch
Smurph.
enemy. That's my arch enemy.
There's a new show I just invented.
Gargamel and the Smurfs. I think that's already a show.
Gargamel and the Comic Smurph.
Heck yeah.
I can't have any more nicknames, man. Did you see?
Dude, AKA
half the show was me saying my nicknames.
Alec is now all right. Whitewell is now Whitewell Comics, aka because it just continues. Just keep going, aka.
But yeah, so I definitely let him know. I definitely was not a fan either. But yeah, so occasionally I allow myself a cover purchase. I don't do it often. This is definitely one of those.
And
Yeah, but what sucks
clear,
is
like,
if you
I don't ever assume that I am correct in my opinion. I'm just voicing mine. If you love this book,
you're weird.
No, more power to you, man. Enjoy it. I just it was not made for me.
The natural fun sucker.
Trademark.
I've got a lot of trademarks too.
Oh, so did anybody read anything great this week they want to shout out before we move on?
I just got home from work, so
I got a pretty cool collection.
Yeah, you want to? Yeah, I'm gonna put it on you, Caleb. You throw up a couple of books. That you got.
No, he's going over something he read. Hold on.
No, yeah, but I don't care about it.
I haven't read anything yet. I got Meet the Scrolls 4. I got this, which I don't know what this is.
You did get one, yeah.
But I didn't even know it was coming out. Terry Moore, who I love, is trying to like create a universe suddenly, and it weirded me out. So, all
right, Caleb got an incredible collection. You can see it in the background. There's that first Hawkeye just floating around in the corner there. Look at that. Gorgeous.
First red and yellow suit, Iron Man. First Galactus. Journey into Mystery. My very first Journey into Mystery. This is my road to Journey into Mystery 83. I got 95 and 96.
Wow.
Or 94 and 95. No, 95 and 6. Okay. I got my first Mary Jane. I got my Spidey Grail. They saw the 102. This is probably my favorite cover that I got, actually, though, surprisingly. Witching Hour with the school bus and the skull.
Nice.
Epic. I really love that. And in honor of JD, I had to pick up some Swamp Thing. Bernie Wrightson.
So good.
And a couple of Avengers keys, you know.
Yeah, that Black Knight, that book's starting to heat up a little bit.
What?
Early Ant-Man.
I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like spec.
Yeah, dude, I hit a haul, man.
Not spec unless I tell you that he's going to be in a movie and you need to buy it right now. Which, by the way, he's going to be in a movie. You should buy that right now.
Basically, all Silver Age keys.
That's so badass, man. That you were able to like get a collection of books that means something to you, though, and has some really good books that you really care about. It's pretty badass.
Also, this is your channel. You can spec as much as you want. I'm just not going to be able.
I like to spec just because it pisses you off.
That's not nice.
Gorgeous copy of First Polaris.
Yeah,
Gorgeous
I love
comic.
that. I just dug all the old X-Men suits like that. Jean Grey with the like fun mask. With the,
I do like her in that, dude.
It's cool.
She is absolutely beautiful in that dress. And then I got some that I'm gonna have to actually sell for the person. So these might go up on the auction later this week. Early Spider-Mans below 50.
Everybody loves a good shocker.
Huh.
Hey-oh.
Some Avengers keys.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there's an auction going on this Sunday, if I may plug that, on my channel with Caleb and JB from Discovery Bay.
Some more
Sunday night.
early Iron Man.
Yeah, those early suit Iron Mans before he goes with the full yellow red. So cool.
Because I need money for MegaCon.
Both
I
of you
know,
do,
dude.
right?
It's
You're
gonna
going,
be
right, Caleb?
awesome. Yeah, I got my tickets the day before yesterday. I sold a book and made a little bit of money and bought my MegaCon tickets. Put a little bit of money back for some grading because I'm gonna get my Galactus graded. I'm gonna try to get my Hawkeye graded. Dude, I'm excited, man. I'm about to jump down the slab rabbit hole now.
What about that the Rocket Raccoon behind you?
Oh, that's definitely getting graded, dude. That thing is gorgeous. This was my first personal grail, man. My
Dude,
character
I knew
grail.
you were so excited when you shared that on your channel. I was like, dude, that's an awesome book, man.
Dude, I freaking love it, man. It absolutely is getting graded.
Yeah, that's a great cover. I love the way he's like talking smack to Hulk right there on the cover, and yeah, totally cracks me up.
Oh yeah, and on the interior when Hulk crashes through and everything, and when they're talking to each other, he's giving him some back talking stuff too. He's this little raccoon like trash talking this big Hulk, dude. It is hilarious.
So yeah, check out Alec's channel on Sunday for his auction. You're certainly going to see a lot of shout outs from all of us on Instagram, letting you know all the information. So if you forget, just keep checking in. You'll see us posting things and letting you all know that that's coming up. Next week, we have
TJ.
Alec hosting. What's that?
TJ and
TJ's just throwing some jokes around about tripping on acid. There you go. Good times.
I think we've all got a few memories.
But next week on Alec's channel, we're doing something different because the books kind of suck next week.
Well, at least the newer books.
Hey, Monstrous is supposed to be coming out next week, I think.
Yeah, but we can't read Monstrous number 40 something.
It's only number 23. Come on now.
Well,
So what we're going to do is we're going to have the War of the Realms champion JD on, and we're going to go through War of the Realms 1, 2, and 3 all in one big crazy breakdown. That's why I broke my anti-Marvel event streak and snagged this today. Mostly because apparently in TJ's mind, this looks like Eric Larson.
nope.
Todd
Todd Liefeld.
let's just fuck that up again.
Yeah.
Rob
German.
Liefeld. But I see a foot, so whatever.
Part of one.
I think this is amazing. I think it looks killer. So I'm sorry that TJ doesn't like it.
It's got Heimdall's sword. It's pretty badass.
Yeah, Daredevil as Heimdall is pretty cool.
I've always thought Daredevil had an awesome costume too. So the devil horns and the suit, man, he's always
I'm assuming you mean the red because you got one of the yellow suit ones recently.
Yeah, that one's put back for you, bro. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's number 6.
Yellow suit Daredevil, always looking like he's got a little vest on. Just in his vest. Look at him. He's got what are those called? Rompers, right?
He's wearing a romper.
He's got a red romper on over his yellow suit. So yeah, so if you want to read up on and discuss War of the Realms, issue 3 just came out today. And my LCS had plenty copies of 1 and 2 still because there were so many variants. So if you want to grab 1 or 2 of those on New Comic Book Day when they're super cheap, you can read those 3 issues and join us next week on Alec's channel when we might start a little bit later just so that we can basically bring the entire Comic Core Unlimited into the book club.
I'll be starting on time.
Just by yourself.
Yeah.
I'll be here with you. See how I invited myself into that?
All right, so besides the auction, Alec, you have anything else coming up you wanted to throw out?
I've got some Spider-Man booth boxes coming at some point. So once I get those, I'll probably do an unboxing. But they're just still saying like prepared to be shipped from the UPS tracking. So
These aren't the superior ones. These are just the regular ones, right?
It's regular ones, yeah.
And then you've also got on Monday nights
Story Comic Horror
with some other guy I don't know very well.
Caleb.
Oh yeah, Caleb's in there. Yeah, Caleb.
Yeah, dude. It's like
Chad,
I never see you anymore.
Chad 90 MF Comics and Kenny Comic Head 84. We're reading Why the Last Man. We're through 12 issues of the 60 so far.
Oh yeah. Hey, Seawood made a guest appearance. He's in the chat.
Seawood did make a guest appearance.
Heyo.
So you're 1/5 of the way through.
And we make a lot of dick jokes.
What would I expect from your channel but anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's basically I'm basically one giant dick joke.
And then what have you got? Anything besides obviously you're going to be on the auction with Alec. You're going to be on Story Comic Core on Monday night. Anything else coming up for you, Caleb?
Tomorrow I'm going to go live probably earlier in the day. So it'll be probably 11 Eastern. So it'll be early for people on the West Coast. But I got to do my Patreon randomizer giveaway for my 2 Patreons I got. So I'll be giving away Omega Man #3.
Nice.
It's already too late to enter, by the way, so everybody knows. That'll be coming up. And I definitely need to get on to Chad and get somebody else on and get my Dollar Bin Dive-In thing back going. And because that'll be a weekly giveaway, but it'll be a book from the Dollar Bin. But hey, I found 2 of the copies of the Avengers with Tony Stark wielding the gauntlet. I found 2 of the Professor Hulks in the Dollar Bin. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm the Dollar Bin bandolero, son.
You do it, man. You do it. I tell you, my shops never have Dollar Bin books that are worth much of anything.
Me either.
Yeah, that's about it.
As far as me, don't do it. Last time I said Saturday morning.
No, that was a one-time joke. That was really funny once.
I got Saturday morning couch with my girls on Saturday. Although I will say we may have to make some adjustments to when it appears. We might do later in the day after we've hit new comic book day. Or sorry, free comic book day at our LCS on Saturday early in the morning. And then I will also be dropping little by little more episodes into the series I'm doing called Starting Line. I dropped a Wonder Woman's episode, not Alex, last night, super late. And there's a Punisher one as well, so you can check those out if you haven't seen those on my channel. And I'm looking always for more characters to do, so if you have a suggestion, you can always leave a comment on one of those videos, and I'll add them to my list.
Oh, yeah. Boom. I always catch the Saturday morning. I love that show.
I'm usually at work.
You still usually say hi, though.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman always makes an appearance in the chats.
Gotta keep your eye out for Princess Diana whenever she can show up. I'm still waiting for, was it Carol and Diana review books?
No, it was Carol and Diana talk about metal.
There you go. I'm waiting for this. You guys are together on the other channel, though, so...
Y'all can just sit there and like make up names for metal bands.
That was the best part of my last unboxing for sure. All right, everybody. You have a nice night. Thank you for coming, and hope to see you next week on Alec's channel for War of the Realms 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Bye.